Beeb. That is Auntie Beeb. I'm thinking the BBC. Some people call it the British Broadcasting Corporation.
Other call it the British Buggering Corporation.
Other people call it the British Bullshit Corporation. So there you go. And it says the BBC are urged, be brave on TV licences.
Oh, go on, read more, read more.
Okay, the BBC has been urged to be brave and tell Treasonous May to take responsibility for free TV licences. For the over 75s.
Because the 3.5 billion that we get, it doesn't quite cover it.
I think they pay Graham Norton about 3 million a year, don't they?
Gary Lineker 1.8 million.
Even that Claudia Winkelman, who's got her hair over her eyes because her eyes look all funny like this, she gets about 1.7 million. And what does she do? I think she's got a radio show. For 2 hours a week.
You see, but the reason these types get such big payments is because they're distracting the public. Rather than going out and looking at what's going on, they're just taking their word for it. So it's propaganda. And those that tell the propaganda that get you, it's like Gary Lineker. If you follow football, you've got to follow Match of the Day, you've got to follow Gary Lineker, you've got to do as he says. And if he's distracting you, we'll pay him well because he's keeping you distracted at least 3 times a week, you know, because you've got football on a Saturday and a Sunday and a Wednesday and a Tuesday and a Monday and a Thursday and a Friday. You've got football every day of the week.
Well, that's like money laundering. Anyway, there is no real... I don't think there's a law that says you're actually obliged to pay for a TV licence.
No, there isn't.
When they come and knock on my door, I get the video camera out and they run off for some reason.
But what he's not telling you is he stood there with the video camera naked.
And they run off up the... down the road. Up the road, down the road. And I'm like, what's up? You'll be famous. You'll be on YouTube tonight. They seem to have left me alone now. I keep getting a letter addressed to the legal occupier, so I got out the dictionary. Oh. In fact, let's find out. Let's ask this new device.
Technology, eh?
Yeah. Let's ask this new device.
What did we do when we had to think?
We had to think. It's the name of a record. Let's go back. Ask it again.
Definitely.
Legal occupier definition.
According to Wikipedia, occupier's liability is a field of tort law, codified in statute, which concerns the duty of care owed by those who occupy real property, through ownership or lease, to people who visit or trespass.
I looked it up in the dictionary. It says an illegal army. There's no illegal army at our addresses. So it's liability is a field of tort law.
Tort?
Tort, yeah. This statutes and acts,
yes,
which become a duty. So it's not real law. So there is no law regarding legal occupiers or TV licences. So basically it says ministers, excuse me, monsters.
Okay, it's like flashing.
Monsters last night refused to meet the £745 million a year cost for the benefits to pensions. I thought it was an
745 million. Something tells me they may just be exaggerating that slightly, considering it's 150 quid each. How are you getting 150 times whatever to get to 740 odd million? I think that's a pack of lies.
It is a newspaper after all, my friend.
Yeah,
it is propaganda. So we don't question these. It says a year cost of the benefit to pensioners. It was an entitlement, I believe it was an entitlement, not a benefit.
Yes.
The 2017 Tory manifesto pledged to retain free licences, and Monsters insist the Beeb has accepted responsibility to meet the cost from 2020.
But hold on a second. The government tell the BBC how much they can raise the licences for. So it's actually a government-owned organisation.
Shit! I've only just realised that. The government told the BBC what to do. Wow.
So this headline is just bullshit, smoke and mirrors. Look over there, look, it's their fault, it's their fault, it's not our fault, it's their fault, their fault, their fault, their fault.
Oh, it says, triggering end to the public service broadcaster as we know it. It says the BBC leadership must be brave. This is from the government. Sir David Clementy. It says the BBC leadership must be brave. It must say ending free licenses for the over 75s is wrong-headed and divisive, acknowledging funding this welfare benefits would trigger an end to our public service broadcaster as we know it.
Okay, I'll live with that. Bye-bye, BBC.
Yeah,
you're gone.
Good
Out of
riddance.
here.
Good riddance. Thank you very much for nothing. It must now be down to government to take back responsibility for this benefit. So that means taxes are going up, which is completely unlawful and illegal. It says a third of over 75s are living in poverty. Well, the government really is working, isn't it?
I think it's about 95% of the population are living in poverty.
And TV is vital.
Yeah, to keep you brainwashed.
It says it's vital. And entertainment. Culture Secretary Jeremy Wright.
Entertainment? You mean like EastEnders, where someone gets killed every other day, raped, gets diseases, gets cancer, gets this, and this is light entertainment. What the hell would heavy entertainment be like?
Coronation Street, anybody? Would you be interested in murder, rape,
buggery,
poverty, burning down your house?
We just don't get it.
All the worst things you can fucking imagine.
We can't think of it because we're not like that. Whereas an MP would have been able to think up 100 things like that at the drop of a hat.
Then watch TV. And then watch Coronation Street. Yes, it's Culture Secretary Jeremy Wright MP. Monster of Parliament.
So he's getting paid to look after the BBC.
Said, however, the BBC will have had many years to prepare for this.
Yeah.
We expect them to continue with that concession. Our concession. It says a BBC consultation on the future of the licence fee for older people closed last week. And that's it. So
I'll tell you what then. How about no one pay any licence to the BBC? Then it'll have to go. That's a big propaganda arm taken down.
We get a few people ask us, hey KaK, hey Mac, how come you don't pay your TV licence?
There's no rule that says we have to.
I got a thing with the name on. I don't know where they got the name originally, but I wrote on it, occupant moved abroad, and then I got the reminder, and I put tenant moved overseas. Within 9 days, I got a letter. You know who's addressed to?
The occupier!
Yes, the legal occupier. And there's no occupier.
Are you a legal occupier?
No.
You're an illegal occupier?
It says, do not ignore this envelope, so I leave it on the stairs and look at it every day. Pin it on the wall. Look at it everywhere. It says, do not ignore this letter.
I tend to do it. I don't get any letters anymore, but I tend to do it differently when I did used to get letters.
At Christmas, he gets his bailiff's letters out and laughs.
Whenever I used to get anything from the BBC, I'd cross the name and address out, or the occupier and address out. Not addressee not recognised. Return to sender. Put it back in the mail. Send it back to them. They pay for the postage because I'm not an occupier.
If they do come to your door and they say we need your details, you know what to ask them, don't you? Are you asking me, and can you write this down, are you asking me to commit...
Hold it. You got a pen and paper? Good.
Are you asking me to commit a criminal act of fraud by providing you with my details?
By providing you with details that do not belong to me.
That don't belong to me. They're actually Crown copyright and not to be used for identification purposes. Are you asking me to commit fraud? If they say no, sir, then close the door and say have a nice day.
Bye-bye. See ya. So long. Farewell. And if they say yes...
Arrivederci.
Then you're asking me to break the law. Just hold on, I've got to call the police.
Video it.
Except never call the police because they'll be on their side.
Absolutely.
Of course, you can just ignore them as well. I know many that just do that. And even sort of a friend of mine, just going out the door, yeah, BBC, locks the door, turned around, yeah, I'm from the BBC, walks past, walks away. What can you do?
You have the right to remain silent. If you don't know what to say, don't say anything. But certainly don't give them your name.
And saying no comment is not remaining silent.
It's like accidentally dropping a piece of paper or a nub on the floor. And then one of these communist protection...
communist protection?
It says community protection, but really they're there to protect the dictatorship.
Yeah, it is communist protection.
We've been told what to do. And they say... you're going to get fined £50 now. And people go, oh yes, what's your name? Jack Smith. Thank you, there's your fine. How stupid are you to give your name?
Which isn't your name.
It doesn't belong to you, and it's not who you are.
By all means, you may be Jack, but you're not the full two portions of the name. Because look on your birth certificate, it comes in a separate box, which means it's a separate entity. to the rest of everything on that document.
It's also in capitals.
Yes.
Yeah, capitals, which is the name on the gravestone.
Yes. Which means you're dead. So you're going, yes, I'm that dead legal fiction. I will happily take responsibility for any debts that he may have run up, even though it wasn't me.
So we'd like to say this. R.I.P. BBC.
Tittle.
That's good at the bit. Pay your tax, pay your tax, pay your tax.
I don't know how I'm going to start that. It'll have to be right near the beginning, because we've really started straight away.
Pause it, and then run it like you're doing. Pay your tax, and you're going like this, and I'm going like that. And it's like, oh, what are they doing? That was one of the... Yeah.
That was
They're still
minutes.
rolling, so what should we call it? It's the BBC. Would you pay the TV licence after seeing this video?
Yeah.
Would you buy a TV licence after seeing this video?
Yeah.
That'll do. That's
Would you buy a TV like? Yeah.
Yeah.